What's up, y'all? So, as you can see, I'm just waking up and my wig is slipping and everything. But it's Sunday morning, and Sunday is my son's father's only off day. So we try to do family outings, or do something together with our son. United for him. Um, so like I was telling y'all earlier, the doing the videos and pieces of my life story, the introductory, it's really bothering me. Like to break it up into pieces. So I just really want to get it out the way, tell you what's going on or what has been going on, and then just kind of go from there of like what I want to post and move forward. Because this afternoon, well, probably in a few hours, I'm getting ready to go to the family's nail salon and get my nails redone. I broke too. I do a lot of things with water, and on the golf course there's a lot of moisture, so my nails are always lifting because I'm always in the shower. I'm always doing something with like water. So that calls for like lifting, and I hate it. So I just end up taking the nail off. And I don't like anybody but my son's father to touch my nails. If you're in Durham, North Carolina, you can stop by and see him. Contact me for the information. I'm gonna put my Facebook name in the description. Make sure you follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Subscribe to this YouTube. Like, comments, things like that. Let me see. I might be able to put a black little piece of paper up here, because this is really what I'm supposed to be doing anyway. Like some shit. I don't know. I'm not no hairdresser. I get paid to do hair. Hopefully I'll be getting paid to make videos soon. Okay, but anyways, I'm chronically ill, and let me look up the exact definition. Siri,
Go ahead.
what's the definition of chronically ill?
I found this on the web.
Okay, a chronic illness is one that lasts for a long period of time and typically cannot be cured. It is, however, sometimes treatable and manageable. This means that with some chronic illnesses, you or your loved one can return to everyday activities. With other chronic illnesses, it may be difficult to participate in everyday activities, or conditions may be progressively getting worse with time. It is important to understand that some people with chronic illnesses face invisible obstacles and may look completely healthy on the outside. Learning to manage the effects of a chronic illness can go a long way towards helping you cope with the diagnosis, the side effects, and the complications regardless of the degree of the severity of your condition. Okay, so that's like legally the term for chronically ill. Oh, sorry. My skin is glowing. I woke up and I had a panic attack this morning. So I'm probably going to be lagging in probably about 30 minutes. I think I may feel it coming on now. I had to take my anxiety medicine. Okay, so hi, my name is LaJoy Renee, and I am 28 years old. At 2 years old, I was diagnosed with a brain tumor that was malignant. Malignant means that it was non-cancerous and that it didn't metastasize to other organs. The brain tumor, like I said, was in the middle of my head, and on top of the brain. It wasn't quite like on the outside, like a bump on the outside. It was like underneath the skin with the brain, like on top of the brain. So I had the surgery to have that tumor removed. I was followed by Children's Hospital in Cincinnati for a while. I feel like I feel crazy with that. Okay, I could probably take it out now. For a long time, and I had no complications with that surgery. When I was 3 years old, I had to have my ears, it was just like the fluid in my ears just was really bad, so they had to surgically remove it. And at 4, I had eye surgery on the left eye, clipping of the nerve to help, like, basically me see and to stop like nerve damage and what is it, like lazy eye. I was pretty much fine until Hurricane Katrina happened. It is thought to be that the stress and the PTSD, anxiety, or whatever from Hurricane Katrina triggered the autoimmune conditions to activate and start attacking my immune system. Anybody that knows anything knows that stress is a trigger for any condition, but especially with autoimmune conditions like lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, hydrocephalus, things like that. So I didn't get a diagnosis right away. Hurricane Katrina happened in 2005. I had symptoms like before that, but they were very minor and they waxed and waned, so we could never really kind of catch the symptoms like on time, or just like, I don't know, like it was really hard to just pinpoint it because like it's a lot of other things that can cause, like stomach pain or like whatever. So it was like a lot of tests that had to be run. It wasn't a lot of information that was known about Crohn's disease. It was not a lot of information known about celiac or irritable bowel syndrome. Irritable bowel syndrome and irritable bowel disease are two different things. You can have both, or you can have one or the other. So let me see. I'm trying to think anything major. So after Hurricane Katrina happened, like once we were able to get out of the situation that we were in, like the terrible, horrific situation of surviving Hurricane Katrina and actually being down there while the storm was there, I went to Cincinnati, Ohio, because like I didn't want to go to North Carolina, and I knew that that's where my mom was going and like my grandma was going to, because like my mom's dad's side of the family is from here, and my grandmother's first cousin, she works for a hospital here in North Carolina, and she goes to a very prominent church here. Shirley Caesar's Church actually helped us and raised money for us. Red Cross, of course, was helpful, but in order to be able to get the Red Cross money and stuff, like we had to get out of the damage. Like we spent 2 weeks in hell, like from Hurricane Katrina. So the things that I saw, like within those 2 weeks of being without normal drinking water, normal food, without having electricity, learning how to survive like off the grid per se. I won't say like it changed me, because it did. Like, I won't say that it didn't change me, because it did. It taught me a lot of things, but do I wish that it didn't happen? Yeah, like, would I be where I am if it didn't happen? Probably not. Would that be a good thing? Maybe so. But it all just, it comes full circle. And it was one of those things where I was like, okay, well, in North Carolina, I would be starting all the way over. And I don't know, I was scared of change at that time. Like, even though I had lost everything, it was just like I wanted something familiar. And for me, what was familiar was Cincinnati. The family that basically babysat me as a child. I wanted to go stay with them, and I did. We flew to North Carolina. We had to get, like, and I explained that when I go more in depth on the Hurricane Katrina videos, but we kind of went through like some real fucked up shit, like to even get out of Mississippi to get to the airport, and then the banks was closed and all types of shit. Like, we had money in our accounts and the accounts was locked. Like, the only thing you could get to was the safe, and the safe was like, the vault, and the vault was fucking crushed. Like, everything was standing but the vault, so they weren't unlocking that shit. At that time, we banked with Wells Fargo. So what I did was, my cousin Sharon Battle, I have a famous opera singer cousin named Kathleen Battle. You can look her up. She's more like my third cousin, because my grandma. So my third cousin, Kathleen Battle, and my cousin Sharon Battle. They're like my mom's age or above my mom's age. So I hate calling them my cousins. I really call them my aunts. But they bought me Series E bonds when I was a kid, and like, lo and behold, that was one of the things that helped me get out of Hurricane Katrina. Because I turned that in, like, and got money, cash. I also sold my, like, very valuable, like, violin that I missed so much. I wanted to, like, teach my kid off of that violin, because it was specially made for me and everything. My grandma bought it. But anyways, so yeah, like, we had gone through so much fucked up shit that I just wanted something familiar. So, okay, cool. We fly to North Carolina, and then I fly out to Cincinnati. And yeah, like, I started to get sick then, and they couldn't handle it. Like, they couldn't take me to the doctor legally. Like, it was a fucked up situation. And then, like, people seen money, and money just changed the motherfucker. Like, shit that was, I don't know. But anyway, so the shit that I seen in Cincinnati kind of fucked me up too, because, like, I fucked up and, like, lost everything through Hurricane Katrina. And then, like, I felt like at that time, like, yeah, I was staying with my cousins and my aunts and stuff, but, like, my mom was telling me, like, they was giving them, like, money to let me stay there. So it was just like somebody had to be an executor over the Red Cross money that I was getting. And then because my grandma sold our house as is, like, damaged and everything, water damaged, because our flood insurance, hurricane insurance, like, they fucked us over like a lot of other people on the Gulf Coast. So the Chinese people, they own the China Star Restaurant on Courthouse Road. They bought our house, and I'm pretty sure they're still the owners of it. Like, it fuck with me because I got an Asian baby daddy, but he won't go with me to knock on their door so I could kind of like go back and see like what the house look like, because Asians are very private, and they're not just gonna let me be like, oh, hey, I used to live here like 15 years ago, y'all. We sold y'all the house. Can we come in? You know, like, especially if you don't have no ties, you don't have no connections. Like, that's just really how it is. So, I don't know. But anyways, like, off topic. So, my grandma got like some money for the house, and so like she would be sending money on the card, but like I didn't have the card myself, like somebody else had the card for me. And I remember one time like I had dropped my phone in the toilet, and like it kind of triggered, like I didn't know what that was at the time, like, and I'm making this video and hopefully the people that see it, even if it's the people that I call my family, even if they see it, I hope that they understand where I'm coming from and what place I was in when I was there and stuff like that. So I dropped my phone in the toilet, and my mom worked for the AT&T company at the time. So it really was nothing for me to be able to get another phone. It was just like the person who had my money was like I had to wait, and I shouldn't have to wait when it was supposed to be money on there. The other thing was like, because who I chose to stay with, they had a kid. So whenever I got something, whether it was food, whether it was clothes, shoes, or whatever, we both got it. And it came out of my money, like the money that I was supposed to be starting my life over. Now, I know as cousins, you know, you share everything, you know what I mean? And as I'm older now, like, I look at it and I'm like, oh, maybe it wasn't that bad. Like, my cousin used to sneak and wear my clothes, even though I'd tell her no, and then, like, hide it, and I would be mad, like, and because it would trigger me. Like, it would trigger me back to, like, reliving what I just went through, you know, losing everything. So, it was just one of those things where I was calling home and I was like, look, the shit ain't right. Like, I ain't doing good in school. I can't concentrate. Like, either I ain't smart or it's just it's too much stress, like, in this environment. So I think I moved from one aunt house to the other. But then when I moved from one aunt house to the other, it was still a problem. Like, and so it was just like, it was complicated up there. And I loved them dearly, but I wonder, do they really love me? Like, I don't know. Just, you know, thoughts of mine. We never talked about it after the fact. Maybe they don't remember. I don't know. Maybe I'm the one that's I was impacted by it, so maybe that's why like I remember it. But then like I went to like my aunt Sharon was a public school teacher, and I could have gotten into it was like performing art school, but I didn't want to, like, and then it was like, well, the second best is Walnut Hills, or like, you know, your second option is Walnut Hills, and you live right down the street. And I made special accommodations, like they made special accommodations to be able to see if you could get in and stuff, testing and all that. And so I was like, I don't really want to though. I just want to go to the school with my cousin, like where my cousin going to school at too, going to school late. So I think that they had like a big play on the situation too, cause like my cousins, they could go out and visit their friends, but my grandma up there, like, she kept me inside, like, sheltered, secure. And maybe, now that I'm looking at that, maybe it was because I'm, like, legally not her grandchild. And if something was to happen to me, then maybe it would fall back on her, like, I don't know. But it made me feel like, damn, like everybody else can do what the fuck they want to do, and I just gotta be stuck here with grandma. Or like whenever, it was mass different stuff that happened that made me just like look at them differently. But the phone situation was the last straw. The phone, and then I remember my cousin saying to me one time, like, after I had bought, my mom had, not my mom, my biological sperm donor had came in and bought nothing but a whole bunch of food. And then, like I said, they was getting money for me staying there, so, and getting money for food, like, you know what I mean? And I remember, like, my cousin one time was telling me, nah, you got too much, like, take some of that food off your plate, like, type shit. And at that time, like, now, me being damn near 30 and seeing a therapist now, like, I know what it was. Like, I was an emotional eater, a stress eater. And even still, though, I was hungry. It was processed food, too. And then, like, shit, I really survived off of goldfish, the little fucking cheese crackers, and Capri Suns for 2 weeks. Like 2 weeks, my nigga, 2 weeks. My mom, when she came in town to visit, she was mad that like we had mattresses on the floor, but I really did it and said yes to it. Like, and I tried to keep telling her that that's what I wanted, because I had to not only buy a mattress and stuff for me and new bedding for me, but also for my cousin too. So it was one of those things where I had to go the cheaper route just to make sure that my money lasted a little bit longer. So it was one of those things where survival of the fittest, Hurricane Katrina, survival of the fittest, being up in Cincinnati. Like, yeah, I got family, but I still had to survive on my own. Like, yeah, they made sure I had a roof over my head, but in what type of conditions and what type of repercussions? Like, what was I gonna go through? Like, the torture. So I remember calling home, and it was like one thing, and my mom just had enough. So she drove up there, and came and got me. I didn't say nothing like why I was leaving or none of that. I just left quietly. So once I got into North Carolina and got into school and stuff, I actually loved it. I loved having a new fucking start, like, and getting to fucking meet new people. Like, the friends that I supposedly had in Mississippi set me up. I got jumped by 6 girls for a supposed to be friend of mine, got my ass beat, and really that's where the hydrocephalus come in at, because I had trauma to the head. with a baseball bat. And still to this day, I was trying to be this girlfriend, like, because I didn't know my worth. I didn't feel, I didn't know my value. I felt like they had the power, they had the value, you know what I mean? Because they didn't want to fuck with me. I felt like I was unvaluable, not valuable. And now I know something different. You know, when you know different, you do differently. Like when you know better, you do better. And that's why I'm just really trying to educate my son on just not just hanging with anybody, you know, just because they, you know, they hung with me or I hung with them. And even though, you know what I mean? Even though, mm, yeah. So at that time, like, I was just like, my parents had been telling me about the group of friends that I had in Mississippi for the longest. Like, they wasn't no good for me. Everything that I had at one time, they stole from me. And Gulfport is so small that, like, my grandma's friends was friends with their grandma's friends, and they grandmas told all they business to my grandma's friend, and my grandma's friend told my grandma. So that's how we found out who stole my phone, which it was my own supposed to be friend, and she had me pay her to go. Like, okay, I'm gonna tell y'all the story. Story time gonna be a little bit later. Story time gonna be a little bit later. Okay. Um. So yeah, I just basically I had got to the point where I was like, all right, embracing a change. You know, so I came down here back to North Carolina, enrolled in Jordan. I fucked with it. People was fucking with me, like fucking with me, like fucking with me the heavy way. Like, oh yeah, you cute. Oh yeah, you cool. Like, it was a lot of black people, and it was rich black people down here too. Like, where I'm from in Cincinnati, it's either white folks is rich or, you know, black folks that's uppity, rich, and educated and don't want nothing to do with your ass. But down here in Durham, you see a lot of young millennials like getting to the money too. So it's really motivating. Like, people, like, even in high school, like, they was throwing parties and making money off of it. Like, I had my own little candy store that I was doing. Like, you know, we all, like, now throughout all of this, there are some good people that I had in my circle. You know what I mean? Like, not all of the people that I've been around were bad. And I'm not an angel. Like, I'm not perfect. I've done wrong. I've done bad. I've said bad. I've been messy. Like, you know, I've done all that shit. But, like, I've righted my wrongs. Like, I took that shit with God, like, and with the people that I fucked with. But I really too much didn't really mess with people. Like, I was a cool ass person that just liked to live and love life and just go places and travel the world. And we had been on a cruise. Me and my family had been on a cruise. Like, we had traveled outside the world. You know what I mean? Like, so people in Gulfport, like, they envied that shit. Like, coming up here in Durham, they was like, oh, okay, yeah, you been like, oh, okay, yeah, you know, you done been out of the country, you like to travel. Oh, your grandma got a degree in psychology. Oh, she used to work for the state. Oh, your mama worked for AT&T. My people do too. You know, like, it was just one of them things. Like, yeah, bet. You know, we see where you coming from. Like, so it was more my speed. I fuck with it. It was my speed. And then that's when I met my baby daddy too. Like, and you know, even though we have our even though we have our ups and downs with how we maintain co-parenting and stuff like that, he was a saving grace, because I ain't really talked to nobody like that. Like, I fucked with everybody at school, but outside of school, you couldn't, like, I was not accessible. I talk to you on the phone all day long, like, and I would still talk to my homegirls from, or supposed to, like I said, my supposed to be friends from Mississippi, on the phone and shit. One of my supposed to be friends, she ended up getting pregnant at like 14, 15. She had got mad at me and we had fell out because I had asked her something or said something about an issue, an abortion or something, just asking her like, hey, because kids up here, they wanting, popping out babies at 14, 15, like, shit, it just wasn't happening. So, I mean, I apologized to her, like, when I got older and realized, and had my own kid, like, to feel, like, to have somebody say that, like, I can understand how she felt, like, you know what I mean? But, her cousin ended up moving to the city right over from me. So it was so crazy because we was cool and me and her used to rock sometime harder than me and my actual supposed to be friend. Like I felt like the friend, she kept me in mess. The cousin looked out for me. And all she wanted, she taught me the game, like getting these niggas. Um and not fucking them. Get what you want out of they ass at 15, 16, and that's it. Like, have fun, live your life, but we not getting pregnant. We not fucking. No, no. So, but she was a thief. And, she was, a person that I let around me even though I knew. Like I knew. And that's my fault. Cause my mom it had already been several incidents when we were younger where she had stole from me, or blame shit on me. And then like when we was at my house, like my house was the go-to spot. Then we'll leave my house and dip out, and then when something go wrong, oh, they blame it on me. So my mama get on my ass and she ain't play about that punishment shit. I would be on like punishment for a fucking month. So it made me rebel. So I instead of hanging with them, not hanging with them, I hung with them more. Key that in for anybody that's a parent now that's watching my YouTube, any of my friends, any of the people that I grew up with. Y'all have a kid that y'all telling them that a girl, y'all have a little girl that y'all telling them, don't be running with them little fast little girls or stuff like that, and they keep doing it. Let them learn their lesson on the hard way. Or try to talk to them first, but don't punish them to the point where they're like rebelling, because that's just gonna end up on you. You know what I mean? Like the fuck ups behind rebelling gonna end up in your issue, in your court. So she reached out to me like, hey, we seen each other at the mall. That's what it was, I think. I don't know, but I know we ended up linking at the mall, some shit like that. And then boom, it was kind of like every other weekend she come over or I go over to her house. But really, like, I had my own thing going on already, but she introduced me to like Raleigh side, but I wasn't onto that yet. Like I went on to being onto the scene and stuff like that, like how I am now. Like I wasn't accepting of who I am and what I look like, because those same people that was supposed to be my friends was calling me ugly behind my back, talking about me, trying to take my boyfriend, trying to pay a dude to see if he could fuck me, and it was her sister's boy. It was my friend's sister's boyfriend's son. Some creep shit. Like, how you supposed to be my friend, yo, but you do some shit like that. So it was like, like I was really trying to break away from that cycle, and my mom was trying to get me to break away from that cycle too. It wasn't, even though that was like a little piece of home, there was a little piece of home that I didn't want too much of. She stole my camera. It was a $600 camera. My baby daddy had bought that for me. When I say he was booming at the time, like, man, wasn't a person out here that didn't know Sam, the man, the movie man. Man, if y'all didn't know in Durham or Mississippi, Gulfport, who Sam is, then you wasn't in the know, period. So he was really getting money. Like, don't never play that. And then he went to do poker tournaments. Like okay, so I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm excited telling the story. Alright, so, okay. Me and my baby dating, and it was good. He was educated. He was to himself. All he did was work. He liked to drink a little bit. I like to drink a whole lot, And then, but we could have, goal as conversations, and I love that about him at that time, and he would be talking about setting up the future for our future kids and stuff like that. I mean, it ain't happen that way, but things happen. Like, I got sick, stuff happens, life happens, but at that time, that's what I needed. Like, I needed somebody just to keep my head on right, and to keep me, telling me how strong I am, because at that time I felt so weak. Like, I felt like I was I had it here, but I felt weak because my mom and them didn't know everything that I was going through. They didn't know what I had gone through with the friends. They didn't know what I had gone through with, the family members. They knew only portions of it. Sorry, one of my son's friends are up already this early at 8:47 playing Fortnite, trying to request him. Not happening. He's still asleep, and I'm doing a YouTube video. But so yeah, get to North Carolina, right? This time I'm 110 pounds, thick, thick. When I say my middle school years and my high school years, I was thicker than a Snicker. I was that. To 80 pounds, soaking wet, bones. You telling me something ain't wrong? Go to the doctor. My grandma went to me to try and family practice every single fucking day to see my internist. Like, what's wrong with her? Why she can't eat? Why she can't get up? Like, I had caught mono. Why she caught mono? Like, why is this happening to her? It's painful. What is going on? Her legs are hurting. She's losing that control. Like, what the hell is going on? What's wrong? They ain't even, at this point, they ain't even know nothing about the hydrocephalus. That ain't even come in yet. They ain't knew nothing about that yet. Cause see, I hadn't gotten into that fight yet. That wasn't even my fight. Wasn't even trying to fight. Wasn't even trying to jump in the fight. I was just trying to make sure my friend wasn't gonna get jumped, and telling her hey, it's people coming outside the house. Get 'em. Come on. This same girl dogging me still to this day, acting like I don't have her best interest at heart. It hurt me to my motherfucking soul to know that the girl that stayed in the city over from me, her cousin, dogged me oh, bruh, she's not to be trusted. I don't fuck with her. She said this about me and I said that about me. Well, bitch, you was a thief and I didn't say that about you. But what I did say to you is your cousin, you gonna keep taking up for your cousin, harassing me on some bullying shit. And I spoke the fuck up finally. I said, get your thieving ass off my Snapchat, bruh. Like, me and my baby daddy was into it bad at that time. Like, we fell out. Me, the girl, the cousin, and a friend fell out because of the simple fact I didn't take them to a Mardi Gras parade. And I ended up almost not going. We went at the last minute. So, yeah. Okay, so sidetracked again. Go to the doctor. So now they starting to run tests because they see it. Like, my hair starting to fall out. The weight and dropped. At first, like, they like, is this bitch anorexic? So I'm like, hell nah. Like, my mom and them like, hell nah. She love to eat. Like, the fuck no. And it was like, well, the doctor was like, well, I think she anorexic, and if she do not go see a nutritionist, we're gonna call DHS on you, and she's gonna get taken away from you. So I bet I go see the nutritionist. She cleared me of anorexic or bulimia. I don't have none of that shit, man. I love to fucking eat. I just can't eat sometimes, you know? It's a part of having Crohn's. Some things work, some things don't. So she gave me a 6-pack pill of Protonics, and she was like, take this. If this doesn't work, then I don't know what's wrong with you. It ain't help. And so then that's when she made me go see the whatchamacallit. So then boom. My grandma had already started getting tired of being up here in North Carolina. Like, that was a time frame of 2 years. And I had met my baby daddy already. We had already gotten close. And, like, I basically lived with him a semester of school so I could finish out the school year here, while my parents went ahead and moved back home, you know, to start the process of moving. And then in like a month or two, but like after that, we followed behind them. So it wasn't until my pediatrician that saw me as a kid back in Mississippi, they diagnosed the rosacea flare-up as rosacea. You can still see, like, sometimes the little flares. Like, there they go. The scarring didn't completely go down. And I talked about that in my other video. What was I saying? Okay, so yeah, so we all moved down to Mississippi. My baby daddy had his own spot. We hadn't had the baby yet. My parents had moved to Ocean Springs. So then, like, I got into another high school, you know, like, they kept me away from the Gulfport people. Trying to keep me away from Gulfport. But it was this one girl that I really did stay in touch with, and she didn't mean me no harm. Like, it was 2 of them. Twee was one of them. And this other girl, Chelsea, I stayed in touch with her for a while, and then all of a sudden within the last year or two, she just all of a sudden stopped talking to me. And I really think it has something to do with the church that I went to, because that's her people's, like that's her aunt. And Pastor Brunner and I used to be so close that I called him my uncle, and Tracy my aunt. So I don't know if they feel her hair wishy or what, but the ball, like how Chelsea did that shit, was so fucking foul and fucked up. I never befriend another bitch like that, period. Like, you right there in Cary, you know what I was going through. I brought you to my mother-in-law's $1 million home, like like $1.5 million home. First of all, bitch, like, and I kept your baby. Like, if you didn't trust me, or like if we wasn't friends, like if you didn't feel like you owe me an explanation as to why we stopped talking, I feel like you shouldn't involve me around your child, period. Because she knew how close I was to the baby. So that really rocked my world too. So not only did I have a lot going on health-wise, but I had a lot going on socially wise too. And those both kind of intertwined a lot. This is my story, and it's to be told, and not sold. Like, ain't nobody gonna tell my story for me. Nobody. Okay, guys, I think the anxiety medicine is starting to kick in, so I'm gonna start to prepare to end this video. But after we moved back to Mississippi, my pediatrician, who was a black lady, Dr. Grayson, shout out to you. Thank you so much. I still do not believe that your work was in vain. You helped me out a lot. She worked with Biloxi Regional. She stepped out and has her own clinic in Biloxi. So if you're looking for a pediatrician, Dr. Grayson is a good doctor to go see. If she doesn't know, she'll tell you she doesn't know. And if she doesn't know, she'll actually pull out her books, like her college education books, and research. And that's what she did. Like, it took a while, but she was like, I believe that you could possibly have Crohn's disease or irritable bowel disease, and let's get the testing. And at the time, Prometheus was the only type of testing for Crohn's disease. And it was like one of those things where it came back positive for Crohn's disease, celiac disease, soy intolerance, milk intolerance, milk protein intolerance, and a list of other allergies. So I had to go see an allergist. I was so thankful for her, because I had lost weight, I had lost myself, I had lost friends, I had lost a child already. And yeah. So when I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease, they told me that more than likely I would not have a kid. That's not possible. Usually people with autoimmune conditions do not have kids, and you know, like all that whole spiel. But God said something different. I have a 9-year-old son. My pregnancy, I was healthy, thank God, because I spent days in the hospital, months in the hospital. At 17 is when I had the brain surgery because they had found it. And then they had linked it back like, oh, well, you was seen at Memorial for trauma during a fight. And I was like, but yeah, that wasn't my fight. Like, and I explained what happened. It was like, well, why you didn't press charges? And I was just like, I don't know, because my friend at the time didn't want me to press charges and that she was going to try to handle it and stuff like that, you know. And then my grandma didn't want me to hang around her no more. Like, my eye was all fucked up. We was only down there on vacation trying to find a house. It's before we even moved back home completely, you know. So it was like we was down there on vacation the second fucking night of me being in town. I get up with my supposed to be best friend. I only had two best friends. And it wasn't the Asian one. So I get up with her. We going to smoke weed. We go with Lil Rod and somebody else. And Lil Chris, I think. And Megan yelling, the girl yelling out the window at the girl. She see the girl. I'm fucked up. So I'm like, yeah, bitch. Fight her. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. What they were fighting about or whatever. So we stopped the car. For a minute, I didn't even get out the car. I just was looking from inside the car, from the back seat. And then I couldn't see no more. Like, and I wasn't about to leave her out there blinded. But shit, would they have done the same to me? Because it sounded like they did to me with the VFW and my damn phone. Because all of a sudden I'm fucked up and I lose my phone and I hear it ringing in the house. And then some people around town say that they seen you with the phone. That's the craziest part ever. So emotionally and mentally, like, this is fucking with me. The people that I like grew up with basically fucked me over. You know what I mean? So, like, I feel like a pushover at this point. You know, it's kind of like, damn, like, that's how a motherfucker do me. Like, you know, like, that's how you see me. That's how a motherfucker see me. Like, they just see me as a lick. Alright, so then fast forward 17, not 18. No, it was 7. It had to be like between 17 and 18 because I was in the hospital on my birthday. I had the brain surgery. They put a little tube right here and drained the fluid out. I don't really want to talk about that right now. I'm still going through like the brain shit. Like, I just had another surgery 3 months ago. And the girl's so fucked up mentally. That she has said some fucked up shit to me, turned around, apologized, and then came back around, said she would never leave no matter what, and then leave. So I have abandonment issues. Like, my dad did that. My sister did that. My aunts from my dad's side, my grandmother from my dad's side, they all did that. You know, then it was like I had issues with like being sick and having somebody else over my money in Ohio, so that wasn't gonna work out. Then like trying to figure out like what was really wrong. Like, I was really going through it mentally. Like, I did not know like what I was going to do. Like, for real. The only person at my school in North Carolina that cared was my history teacher, and she was black. She cared enough to ask me, like, what the fuck was going on. Like, I was in honors U.S. history, and still, not honors U.S. history, honors, it was U.S. history, because the black, history was taught by a white man. Crazy, right? But, all this shit has taught me that, no, at 18, I went to the hospital. No, yeah, it was right at the 18 mark. Yeah, 18, because my grandma went to the hospital with me. And they made her get out, and she was mad. My mom and her get out, and they was mad as hell, cussing them folks out. And I had to tell them, because at first, like, I'm thinking this is another Crohn's flare up, because like the morning sickness and stuff is kind of like the beginning stages of how a Crohn's flare up feels, Crohn's disease flare up feels. So I'm like, I didn't know that I was pregnant, but I was pregnant and my baby daddy was out of town. So I'm calling him, like, because the whole team of doctors then came in here, like, telling me, like, they don't think that it's best that I had a child. You know, they it's a 50-50 chance that I, like, could lose my life or the child could lose his life, you know, all that. And I'm like, I can't even get in touch with my baby daddy because he's stuck in a fucking box dealing these poker cards to the WSOP. You know, shout out to them. But that was what he wanted. He wanted a boy. And we have a healthy boy. I mean, he's having a little health complications now. But by the grace of God, he's good. So to keep me healthy, even though I was doing good, I got really sick in the beginning. I had to go into the hospital. They had to feed me nutrients through the bag, and it was terrible. And like, I was not there by myself. Like, I wasn't there with the person that helped me create this child. And I knew that he had to work, but it was still, like, mentally, it was hard on me, you know. And then just trying to put a brave face on my mom and my grandma, because all they do is worry about me. So I really needed him there, and I didn't have him there, and that impacted me as well. But I just try to stay sane by smoking a little weed, listening to music, I write. I'm doing this YouTube shit. Like, I hope that, you know, my story get out there and help somebody else, like, that's going through this, you know, like, or help you make decisions, you know, like, on the younger millennials. Like, I just want to be like somebody that somebody else can learn from, you know, because I have a lot of pain and a lot of things, a testimony that needs to be heard.